still carrying. She prepared the laptop and projector and everything. I could do the setup to make my visual aid to be successful. It's a good preparation. And yeah, some of you might think that Adam's title for today's talk is called Confessing Our Public Speaker. It's a little bit weird. How many of you have this feeling? Did you raise your hand? Yeah, that's good, because basically, I know some of you are, this is a supporting environment, you know, and you just want to support me. But to be honest, if I'm in your seat, I will find Adam is not an authority in this part. Even he gave 7 speeches, I feel good, but still a lot of things to learn for him. And actually, this is not about my stuff. It's coming from a book. This one is a book written by the Scott Berkun, and recently published in the end of last year. And there are tons of books talking about the public speaking skills, and I have 20, at least 20 at my home. But I found this one is good. First, we need to validate whether this one is good, and the first thing we need to go is to go to Amazon review. And you can check the review, almost 5 stars among the 80 reviews, and 71 have given 5 stars, because that's the readers from all over the world can give the review. It's not the author to buy or write the review. I know some of you did this one. I feel I'm very picky. So basically, this is a good book, and I have read it. And after I have read it, and I just check it in the back. Yeah, I forgot to bring this one. This is the book. This is the book. And in the end of this one, there is one review, and I mentioned your next talk will be 10 times better if you read the book first. And I totally agree with him, because this Monday I gave a speech, I gave a talk, and I'm sure phone can validate. And I just learned a lot of things, how to improve my pause, how to express my ideas more fluently, and it has helped me a lot. But yeah, this is the introduction part about this one. Actually, many people, they could write a book, but when you are speaking, that's a totally different story. And this guy, he is now make a living by speaking. Originally, he was a project manager in Microsoft for the development of Internet Explorer from 1.0 to 5.0. And he quit his job in 2003. And he began writing books and give the talks. So basically, he has to be good, otherwise he can't survive. And he gives a very good first-hand experience of how he make a living and how. For example, in the early morning, he need to go to San Francisco conference meeting when almost no one in the streets. And he also tells us how much he earned. For example, $5,000 for one speech. So basically, it's a good stuff. And today, I'd like to share with you 2 chapters and 1 appendix from this book. This is the chapter they call Don't Eat the Microphone. And in this chapter, he highlights 2 points. The first point is, you have to make a good thinking for your speech. And the second point is, you have to practice and practice and practice. And in this book, because in the reality, there are many ways that could get in the way of good thinking. But the legend that called Lincoln wrote his famous Gettysburg Address on the back of an envelope on the way when he takes the train. This is a legend, and it's notorious for the good thinking, because this story suggests that Lincoln is very smart. He can write very good stuff very quickly. But actually, this book tells that Lincoln spent many years of thinking about the Civil War and what's the future would like for the Americans, for the country. So it takes a long time for the thinking. That's the first part. And the second part is about preparation in this chapter. And when Dale Carnegie, he has studied Lincoln for many years, and he has something to say about the making of this address, the Gettysburg Address by Lincoln. And quote, Lincoln was spending the later part of that evening giving his speech, another week. He even went to the joint house where Secretary Seward was staying and read his speech aloud to him for criticism. After breakfast the next morning, he continued to give another week, working on it until a tap on the door asked him to go. So you can see he practiced, even he is president. And that's the old story. And now I'm sure many of you are familiar with this guy. I like his speech. He once gave a very famous speech in Stanford. And according to he mentioned, in order to prepare a 30-minute speech, he has to spend 10 hours. So that's his true story, and that's the reason he's very concise in his ideas flow very fluently, and you can check some of his speech from Apple website. And the second chapter is about, the second chapter is about the room which is used for the speech. Maybe it's not quite relevant to us now, but it could give us some good idea. And the perfect place for giving a speech is in this theater in Greece, because this is a perfect semi-circle area. Everyone can face you, and unless there is no rain. And nowadays it's good in the movie theater. It's good because you can see the audience semi-area. But in reality, it could happen in the crowded area, like this one. But the most scary part, because this is crowded, but the most scary part is the reality. You have been put in a very large room with, for example, 2,000 people, 2,000 seats, but only 20 people show up. So how to solve this problem? According to this book, according to this author, he come up with a theory called the density theory. He can just ask his audience to sit near the center of this one, so that his idea can reach them clearly. And he even explained the psychology why the audience like to go with you, because the audience feel they are the loser if they sit behind. This is the empty room, not welcome. They like to share the feeling with you. So that's a good suggestion. And there are lots of good suggestions in the end of this book. For example, the first recommendation is if you want to increase your speech skills, you need to go to the Toastmaster. That's the first recommendation. And there are some equipment he recommended. This is the one he recommended because first you can use to control your time, especially from a large audience. You can check how many minutes left. Yeah, I didn't do that. And and it's easy to handle in your hand, right? It's easy to handle. You can use it. And I decided to buy it next time. And there are also some survival tips in case, for example, you left your slide deck at home. So how to prevent this situation? What's the solution? So for how to prevent, first put your slide in 3 different places. One in a flash disk, as I did here, and I send an email to Carrie. I did that one too, and I have a hard copy. I follow this one very closely. In case if there is a power failure, I can still continue. And you can, that's the one. And how to respond in case you forget that one. The first step is to beg your audience forgiveness because that's your fault. And then next, they propose a simple trick. You can make a list of 10 questions and let the audience to select which one they are interested in. And then it's more interactive to give their speech. So that's the good stuff. In the end of this book, and the author, he said, no matter how much you hate or love this book, you are unlikely to become a good public speaker unless you have taken the effort to practice good thinking and to do it. So that's the end of my speech. Thank you very much.